Hey everyone, John here from testprepinsight.com, and today I'm going to be comparing two language learning apps, Jumpspeak and Rosetta Stone. These are two very popular language learning programs, and today I want to share my thoughts on each of them after having just used both. And just as a quick note, since this is just going to be a high-level video today, covering just the major highlights, if you find you need some more information at any point during this video, we also have a full detailed written comparison of these two companies over on our website. An easy way to get there is just to Google Test Prep Insight, Jumpspeak versus Rosetta Stone. That's the quickest way to find it. Okay, so before I just dive right into talking about what I like and don't like about each of these apps and how they compare, I want to explain how each one actually works. I think this is going to help provide some context for the pros and cons that I have coming here in a minute. So let's start with Jumpspeak. So in essence, Jumpspeak utilizes AI to immerse you in the language that you're learning, and they do this in two different ways. The first way is through short standard lessons. These are pretty typical of other apps' lessons, and they're broken up into 4 sections, with each one only taking a couple minutes to complete. So the first part of each lesson is listen, in which you listen carefully to an audio clip and then select the correct answer choice from a few multiple choice options. Then the second is write, where you follow along with the simulated conversation and then type in your responses, kind of like you're texting a friend. And then the next one is speak, where you listen to an audio clip with a word or phrase, and then you'll repeat that out loud. And then lastly, there's conversation, which is sort of like the write exercise, but instead of typing, you respond verbally. Now, honestly, these lessons are pretty plain Jane in my opinion, kind of similar to what you're going to find with other apps like Duolingo. But then the second aspect of the Jumpspeak app is their AI tutor, and this is what the company is really known for. The AI tutor feature is designed to help you practice listening and speaking by simulating real-life conversations. These mock conversations cover topics like shopping, health, fitness, dating, and other things like that. You can answer the prompts that they give you however you'd like in these conversations, and the AI tutor will respond accordingly and provide a targeted and personalized reply, making this exercise pretty interactive and tailored to everyday speaking. I'll talk more about this AI tutor feature a little bit later on in this video in some more detail, but for now, you got the basics of how Jumpspeak works. Now, switching over to Rosetta Stone, this program is generally built around 20 major learning units, with each one covering a major thematic topic, from things like intros and greetings, to fitness and health, to food and culture. They generally build upon one another from basic to more advanced. But in any event, within each module, there are dozens of lessons, with each one taking about 10 minutes to complete. But as for what the actual lessons are like, the thing that you need to know about Rosetta Stone is that the program is very image heavy. Almost every single exercise uses images in some way or another. Sometimes the program will say something in the language that you're learning and you match what was said to the right picture. Sometimes it's matching written phrases to images. Sometimes it's on you to speak in the language that you're learning what you're actually seeing in an image. And sometimes the pictures are used to teach grammar. Basically, no matter what the exercise is, Rosetta Stone primarily uses a combination of pictures and immersion to teach. The program is clearly built to have you create connections between what you're learning and imagery. Now, in this way, their framework cuts out English as a go-between when you're learning a new language and forces you to rely more on your intuition rather than memorization. And like most language apps these days, Rosetta Stone will start you with basic 1- and 2-word building blocks and then progress to longer, more grammatically complex sentences as you reach the higher levels. That's pretty standard among apps. But one thing that is not typical for apps is that in order to reach those higher levels, you do need a score of at least 85% in each lesson to move on, so you can't just cheat your way through. And I thought that was kind of interesting. But that's more or less how the Rosetta Stone program works. Around the core lesson work, Rosetta Stone does give you a bunch of bonus tools and resources like stories, phrasebooks, on-demand video lessons, audio companion lessons, and even some live lessons, but for your daily exercises, that's how it works. Okay, so before I dive into what I like and don't like about each app, let's actually talk about price, since that's always important. So Jumpspeak offers a few different options: a 3-month plan for $69, a 12-month plan for $99, or lifetime access for $249. It's pretty straightforward. Then switching over to Rosetta Stone, their plans cost between $10 and $15 per month, depending on the duration that you select, or they sell a lifetime plan for around $200. So really, at the end of the day, pricing between these two companies is pretty similar, and there's no clear-cut winner here. But with that said, I would strongly encourage you to check for sales and coupons before buying. We track both companies' sales calendars, and they're both pretty good about running deals and special promotions, and you can usually knock a few bucks off with both Rosetta Stone and Jumpspeak. And in fact, I'll actually do my best to drop any current discounts that I can find floating around out there down below the video screen for you. Make sure to check that out before buying. You might be able to save a few dollars with both of these apps if one of them ends up being a good fit for you. Okay, so now let's get to my thoughts on how these two language apps stack up and where they each beat each other. And let's start with the reasons why you should choose Rosetta Stone over Jumpspeak. Alright, so first up, there's no question that Rosetta Stone is the better choice for visual learners. As I mentioned earlier, nearly every single practice exercise and drill that you're going to be asked to complete includes images and pictures in some way. Plus, Rosetta Stone also offers supplemental video lessons as well, which are really good in their own right. Now, to be fair here, Jumpspeak does offer some short video explainers before most lessons, but other than that, the majority of their curriculum is more audio and text-based. So, bottom line, if you like to see what you're learning and you understand and remember things best by sight, then Rosetta Stone's going to be a better choice for your learning style. Okay, the next advantage for Rosetta Stone is how they make the learning process immersive. So as you progress through the Rosetta Stone program, you're going to notice that there's very little use of English for directions or translations. And this is by design. Rosetta Stone wants to mimic the natural language learning process as closely as possible, almost like when you were a small child learning English. As a toddler, you didn't have a primary language to fall back on, and Rosetta Stone attempts to simulate this concept, which, in my opinion, works really well for language acquisition. Now, the Jumpspeak program, on the other hand, is littered with English directions, translations, and hints, which can kind of water down the learning experience at times. Now, in contrast, Rosetta Stone wants you to naturally pick up the language through visual cues, inference, and repetition. Alright, so the next win for Rosetta Stone is that, in my opinion, I think their speech recognition technology is better than Jumpspeak's. It's definitely noticeably faster and more accurate. With Jumpspeak, there's an annoying delay before and after you speak, which I think makes the experience a little less smooth. And also, I found the accuracy to be a bit hit and miss. Just as an example, when testing Jumpspeak Spanish, I said the word pasta with a hard P instead of hasta, as in hasta luego, and it still marked me as correct. Now, with Rosetta Stone, on the other hand, the app tended to pick up on these kind of mistakes and gave me more reliable feedback during these speaking drills and exercises. Alright, so next up, I like that Rosetta Stone offers its users a ton of extra resources and learning tools, including the on-demand videos that I mentioned earlier, short stories, phrase books, live classes, live coaching, downloadable audio companions, and a lot more. So in other words, Rosetta Stone is just a lot more than a collection of lessons, and it offers more supplemental tools than Jumpspeak. And then lastly, I also think Rosetta Stone offers the better user experience overall. Their digital platform and mobile app are very fast, intuitive, and easy to use. And while Jumpspeak's digital platform also looks kind of modern and is user-friendly, it can be a little buggy at times. I've noticed glitches here and there, which can be frustrating during lessons. Just as an example for me, the dialogue boxes during lessons would stop speaking at times. That was a little weird. But anyway, that's Rosetta Stone. So now let's turn the tables and cover the major reasons to go with Jumpspeak to learn a new language. Alright, so first up, a lot of people might prefer Jumpspeak's shorter lessons. Again, a typical Rosetta Stone lesson is just 10 minutes, but they usually bundle these together into modules of 3 or 4, which can mean that a true module might take like 30 or 40 minutes to complete. Now, of course, you can always stop after one of those 10-minute lessons and come back later if you want, but the short, fast-moving nature of the Jumpspeak lessons are definitely attractive. They're just great for squeezing in a lesson here and there, like on your lunch break or waiting to pick up your kids from practice or after dinner. They just don't feel as taxing and they are more bite-sized. Okay, the next advantage for Jumpspeak here, and this is the big one, is their AI tutor. This is the company's bread and butter. In a way, it's sort of meant to act like your own personal language coach. So once you pick a topic, you start a dialogue with an AI bot and it guides you through practical scenarios such as talking about signing a lease or maybe going out to dinner. And you can even create your own scenarios if you want to practice something really specific like taking your dog to the vet. The AI tutor will just adjust to your needs, acting like a teacher or guide or conversation partner, kind of depending on the role that you've set. Plus, the best part is that, in my opinion, you get real-time feedback on your pronunciation, how you phrase things, and your grammar, which makes it really effective for improving your speaking skills. And while you get suggested responses from the AI bot to kind of keep the flow going, you're always free to answer however you'd like, making the experience feel more natural and kind of tailored to your learning style. So overall, I just think the AI tutor tool is highly effective because it provides personalized, real-time practice and just everyday practical scenarios, helping you to build confidence and fluency through tailored feedback and more flexible conversation options. And lastly, my final point might be minor here, but I like how Jumpspeak gives you control over how fast the fluent speakers talk during drills and exercises. So in the settings tab, you can slow the audio down as much as 50% as you like, which I found to be really beneficial. When you slow down the pace, it really helps you clearly hear pronunciation and inflection points, which is crucial for mastering new vocabulary and improving speaking skills with your new language. Plus, it helps reduce frustration and kind of builds confidence as you gradually adjust to native level speeds. But anyway, that's kind of it for this video, so let me wrap it up with some final thoughts here. But before I forget, I should mention that since you're learning a new language, we actually give away a free language learning app every single month to one lucky person. It's really easy to enter. Just do the 3 simple things listed right here on screen. It'll take you like 10 seconds, and hey, you never know. You could win yourself a totally free language learning app subscription. All right, so the verdict. Should you choose Jumpspeak or Rosetta Stone to help you learn a new language? Well, in my opinion, Rosetta Stone and Jumpspeak each have their own strengths, but in the end, I think Rosetta Stone is the better overall language learning program. Yes, Jumpspeak's AI tutor tool is a cool feature, and their short bite-sized lessons can definitely come in handy at times, but other than that, this is a somewhat surface-level, simplistic program. Now, on the other hand, Rosetta Stone's immersive, image-based learning methodology, superior speech software, and bonus resources just make it feel like the more effective and well-rounded language program overall. And when you add with that their sleek user interface and affordable price tag, Rosetta Stone is just kind of hard to beat. So bottom line, if you're serious about learning a new language, I think Rosetta Stone is the way to go between these two. But anyway, I hope this video has been helpful and you learned a little something about both courses. If so, please return the favor by subscribing to our channel, and no matter what, best of luck in your language learning journey.